All right, I'm about to get heated. This isn't going to take very long, but I feel genuinely betrayed. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Happy Black Friday. You know, year-round, my channel is just a love letter to consumerism. I try and veil it by saying, well, you know, I'm buying things and reviewing them so you can make an educated decision, so you don't have to have a heaving stash like me. But honestly, by the time I hit this time of year every single year, and honestly mid-year too, whenever I do my big like roundup mid-year review on like best and worst, every single time without fail, I am completely burnt out on pulling my credit card out. Because for me, it's like a business expense thing. When there's a new release or something, I realize that it is my responsibility in a lot of ways to have a credible opinion. And that is, at the end of the day, the job that I signed up for. But it doesn't change the fact that by Black Friday, scrolling through my inbox is just a blur of no. And so today, that is the vibe that we will be basking in. I want to immerse you in my mindset today of just not buying anything. Maybe gifts for other people, but certainly nothing for myself. So today I'm going to be doing my annual Black Friday anti-haul. We are going to be talking about all the things that I am not buying this Black Friday, and it's for a lot of personal reasons. This is not going to be necessarily me bagging on products for existing. I think that the beauty industry has really stepped their game up because of the nature of capitalism and competitiveness, especially in 2020 where everybody's just kind of sitting at home sewing a quilt of disappointment held together by coping mechanisms. At least that's been my experience in 2020. And I have to admit, shopping has been one of my coping mechanisms. So that said, I don't want to necessarily pass judgment on these releases. I mean, unless I explicitly say so. For quality reasons, it's just a matter of me trying to talk myself out of buying things right here in real time with an audience. So let's do it. She says wearing a brand new shirt. Okay. So I'm going to do what I typically do and go through the list that I have compiled because I have opinions and thoughts. And then I'll probably just go through trend mood and like, you know, pass casual judgment. So, I hate disclaimers. I feel like anybody should understand the nature of an anti-haul at this point, but anti-hauls are supposed to be fun. This isn't me bagging on your favorite brand or I don't know. You guys know what an anti-haul is. So let's first talk about the whole phenomenon, and it's coming back again, of face glosses. You're like, what? Okay, I am a big proponent, big fan, big defender, big shopper of makeup artist-owned brands, but makeup artist-owned brands are guilty of one thing that drives me absolutely up a wall, and that is editorial makeup sold to the consumer. Things that work for 5 minutes on camera, like an eye gloss, which is something I've waxed poetic about in the past. Now we've got face glosses. People have made arguments to me in favor of face glosses. Tower 28's got a face gloss. Danessa Myricks has a face gloss. I mean, Jones Road Beauty, you could argue that's just a face gloss. Well, yeah, they have a clear, it's a face gloss. And now Patrick Ta has come out with a face gloss. These are, with the exception of Tower 28, those are all, you know, makeup artist-owned brands. Face glosses serve a purpose of looking a certain way for like a moment, but they don't actually have any practical application. I just reorganized my entire stash. I bought storage. I organized it like an Aries. I just kind of dumped things in drawers and I was like, yay, these are all the same category. But it has really made my life a lot easier in terms of shopping my stash. And so today I shopped my stash and I tried out a bunch of stuff that I have not seen in a long time and just remembered how good it all is. And I'm like looking at this face of makeup and there's no powder other than my eyeshadow, but the way that everything dried down so beautifully, it makes me think if I put a face gloss on top of this right now, it would shoot the whole thing to hell. It would be so bad. And I understand just tippity tapping something, but may I offer you an alternative? The Becca, hear me out, the Becca clear highlighter dries down and it actually works and it gives your skin that glass finish. So, you know, these things exist for a reason, but I will not be buying an actual like lip gloss for my face ever on my channel. You're never going to see that. And honestly, I think that like makeup artist owned brands need to wise up to the fact that some of their aesthetics and some of their like, you know, total holy grail products do not translate to the everyday consumer buying at Sephora. Okay, next, and this is just, again, me scrolling through my own inbox. It's funny because you would think based on my channel that I am just an avid and voracious makeup consumer in my like off-camera life. Do you know what I'm actually an avid and voracious consumer of? Fashion. I love clothes. And now that I'm back to my flat-chested self and I'm back in my old jeans, not comfortably, but they zip up, man, I am just reminded of how much I love getting dressed and how much I can pretty much justify buying anything that appeals to me from a wardrobe standpoint, and then how much I hate having tons and tons and tons of crap and just clothes and stuff, because I change my mind on my aesthetic a lot, and I'm really making an effort to buckle down and make a decision, be more of an adult about my clothing purchases, but my inbox is just so full of discounts for clothes. Like that's what it is. It's not really, I get like, you know, the occasional email from Sephora or Credo, but most of my discount offers are clothing companies. And your girl needs to stop for like mental health reasons. Okay, let's talk a very practical release, or no, a very practical anti-haul of a new release. This is something that you guys have actually been really curious about. I'm not gonna like crap all over it, but it's the new Wayne Goss eyeshadow palette. So when he released his first eyeshadow palette, I jumped on it because it was the warm neutrals of it all, and it felt like the possibility of being a staples palette. And that was what I really wanted to know, is like, is this an essentials palette that, you know, you could throw out all your other palettes? It was good, but it was definitely not that. The new one is all super cool tones, like grays, silvers, and then this crazy electric blue, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, Wayne Goss makes everything look beautiful, and his formulas are meant to work on all skin tones, all skin types, all skin ages. And so his models are all different ages. I really commend him for that. There's something really frustrating about scrolling through Instagram and, you know, everything is just on young models. That really doesn't help most of us. I still consider myself young, or in the words of Kate the Great, young-ish. But I still don't relate a lot of times, and there are still missteps that I can make with my makeup that make me look a lot older. So it's always nice when a makeup artist or a brand owner takes into consideration those things up front. So that said, I always want to commend him for, I think, coming from the right place, but that is a color story that does not appeal to me. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, experimenting is something that's always me stepping a toe out of my comfort zone. And when I'm reviewing makeup, I tend to always come back to center as far as like things that look like my skin tone, you know? Rosy things, brown things, things that kind of go nude or slightly sparkly. I tend to kind of be basic and safe, okay? I try not to be, but that is my comfort zone. And that's why this is just something, especially I think that his palettes are $55. In spite of the quality, that's just not something that I typically experiment with. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this in the past, but if I put blue on my eyes, like an electric blue like that, it stands in contrast with my eyes and makes them go demon red on camera. And so it's just not it's not a look, it's not a vibe. But also, I do have to speak to the quality of his releases in the sense of being beginner makeup. They are not. At least his powder products. His blushes have not really come back into rotation for me because they don't have the creaminess that I was hoping that they would. They are a little bit over pigmented. I think his entire collection is a little bit over pigmented. I think that the strength of his collection, all of the releases that he's had so far, have been the lips. I don't really love the lipstick formula, but the glosses are exquisite. The lip liners are gorgeous. The color stories are awesome. He really has a knack for it, and I love that they are kind of dupes for the MAC lip gloss in a lot of ways, because obviously I, can't use the MAC lip gloss because cruelty free, but the rest of his releases have just been so underwhelming to me in funness. funness of use. That's always my thing, right? I want to get excited to use something, and honestly, his products are intimidating. They are highly pigmented, which is great for deeper skin tones. Maybe he should try putting out some like less pigmented and then high intensity, you know, or like, you know, regular intensity, low intensity for different skin tones, because it's just really hard to use some of his products. Actually, it's really hard to use most of his products because the intensity is just, it's so hard to control. So yeah, it's not a color story that I would be into anyway, but also his powder products, they just intimidate me. They're kind of outside of my skill set. Okay, I know I mentioned this before, but as I was reorganizing my makeup, I realized, and also I got a comment recently that someone said, can you please revisit this? I realized how much I didn't like the Rare Beauty release and how I haven't touched a single product in that collection since that review, because the foundation and the concealer made my skin look so much older, even though it wasn't even powdered. It just dried down and was super unflattering, and that the blushes were really difficult to use, and even the lips, I just have things that I like better than those formulas. And I think I mentioned this in another video, like ever so briefly, but her eyeshadow palettes, like they really, like they came out of not even left field, like left field down the street, the check cashing place on the corner. Like, what are those color stories? Maybe I should do a little bit of like a deeper dive on what her inspiration was, because truly I haven't done any research, but you know, they keep popping up on the new feed on Sephora, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do with any of those shadows, much less combining them. You know, it's like, oh, okay, maybe I can work a lime green into a look, but like lime green and hot pink, or hot pink and hot purple, and they're all sparkly. I don't know. I don't party that much, and it's not, you know, 2002 like MySpace anymore. 2005, 2007. Either way, I lived through the MySpace years, and sure, you know, we were going and buying the brightest things that MAC had on offer and drawing our eyeliner, you know, all the way around our eyes, and didn't really matter because we're covering one eye with our bangs anyway, but that's just not my life anymore, and I just wonder what she was thinking. I really do, especially because the context of the rest of her collection is so intended to be wearable. I feel like that's just like these weird hot takes on color stories for the eyeshadow palettes, and I truly don't get it. I don't get it. Something in general that drives me crazy around the holidays and Black Friday in particular is minis, and clean beauty companies are just as guilty of this. Now, there are minis and like single pan eyeshadows and stuff like that that come out that don't have the wastefulness factor. They really are almost like a sample that you can use, and it's like less wasteful because you're like, oh, do I like this? Let me decide, because it's tiny. But there are Kosas wet lip oils, you know, one of my favorite products, but no, we're gonna put it in a teeny tiny container and sell 5 of them. Or the Tower 28 lip glosses, we're gonna put it in a teeny tiny container and sell 12 of them. And the issue is, it's just as much plastic. It's actually more plastic per pound of product. And I honestly think that, especially when it comes to a lip gloss, I think you don't need a bunch of samples, which is essentially what they are, is, you know, individually packaged samples of lip gloss to decide that you wanted the pink one and not the clear one, or the red one and not the whatever one. You know, I think that we can all be adults and pick a lip gloss, pick 2 lip glosses. We don't need to stuff people's stockings with a set of 5 mini lip glosses that are, at the end of the day, just gonna be rattling around at the bottom of someone's purse. You know, if we have to like actually think of the practical life cycle of an item of makeup, those are the things that are the most likely to be tossed aside. I know, because I ended up buying a big set of Buxom lip glosses years ago, and I split them between me and my sister. I think there were like 16 of them or something. I found those things rattling around in my car 10 years later. 10 years later, and I was like, you know, this was pointless. And I found that especially with Buxom, because they have that same thing that the Kosas or the Tower 28 does. There were very, like, you know, committed high pigment shades that you could pretty much predict what they were going to look like. And then there were the ones that were basically clear, and there was almost no point in owning more than one because they all kind of looked the same. So, you know, use your judgment. And I mean, what I did last year was buy my sister a Kosas lip oil in a color that I thought would look good on her, and she loved it. So you can just pick one. You can just pick one. All right, I'm about to get heated. This isn't going to take very long, but I feel genuinely betrayed. And I want to thank I think 2 viewers who both sent this to me and were both outraged, necessarily outraged. If you have not been made aware, Mother Dirt has rebranded. And I mean, they're still called Mother Dirt, but they have like changed their branding. All their packages look more like female targeted skincare instead of like athletic targeted body care kind of thing. You know, they used to be very unisex looking, almost like an outdoors brand. And now they're like, we're a skincare company and we focus on probiotics. If you're unfamiliar with Mother Dirt, it is a brand that I have sworn by for years because they make this stuff called AO Plus Mist, which has active bacteria cultures in it that when you spray it on your face or wherever, it helps to keep you from getting bacterial breakouts or stinkiness or fungus or what have you. And it is a miracle product. I think that it is brilliant. Granted, I haven't tried any of them, but there are a lot more probiotic based skincare products on the market now than there were when it first came out, but I used to just absolutely love it. I have it stockpiled in my fridge because that's where it has to live in order for the cultures to stay cultured. But with the new rebrand, the AO Plus Mist, which is honestly the only product in the line that I really felt like was ever worth it. I tried a bunch of the other stuff and I was like, nah. Now they've reformulated that stuff. So I think that they've taken some stuff out, added some more stuff in. I can't speak to the quality of that, but the AO Plus Mist, to my knowledge, has not changed in terms of formulation. And they have taken the exact same bottle, the exact same size, literally the exact same delivery system. They have slapped a different label on it and it went from $49 a bottle, which was already crazy. I think it's like 1.4 ounces or something. It is now $69 a bottle, guys. $70 for a bottle of AO Plus Mist. I am sorry. That is too rich for my blood. $49 was already completely ridiculous, and they need to wake up. This is a brand that uses my face in their ads. They paid me to do that. And I have always given them a full-throated endorsement. I really think their product works. I know that it works. I don't think that it works well enough that you should pay $70 a bottle for it. It's not a bigger bottle, it's the same bottle. And I am honestly just using my platform to express my outrage because I won't be buying it again at that price point. You know, I'll try something else. I don't know, Tula I know is like a probiotic based skincare line. I know Biossance has some probiotic stuff. I don't know of anything else, any other company that does a, you know, refrigerated probiotic spray like that. I want to say like Lululemon Body does something like that. Like their actual body care line might do something like that, but surely there's something out there like that by now that you don't have to pay $70 for. Unreal, unbelievable. Like, that's just so audacious to me. That's like a bottle of Kojin dough foundation. And that's also really overpriced. That's the same price as, I don't have it in front of me because I actually organized my stash, but that's the same price as like the crazy expensive Westman Atelier foundation. Whether you think those things are worth that money or not, my point is it's poising itself as a luxury product and it's not giving me a luxury experience. Yes, it works, but it's not worth $70 of my money, or yours, I would argue. And finally, before we jump into the stuff on Trend Mood, I just want to go ahead and give like an umbrella statement. Yes, we talked about the Rare Beauty eyeshadows. Yes, we talked about the Wayne Goss eyeshadows. I'm probably not going to be buying any eyeshadows, at least for the end of the year. I'm actually thinking that January, just to decompress, we do a no buy and just shop my stash all month. Like, what do you guys think about that? We can just, I probably won't get as many views, I'll be totally honest. When I don't feature new stuff on my channel all the time, people kind of lose interest because then I'm just kind of like doing looks. But I need to decompress on buying stuff. I want to re-experience a lot of this stuff that we kind of tried once, reviewed, moved on. I want to just let it breathe a little bit, let my stash breathe a little bit, you know, become a little bit more like intimately involved with it. And just let me know if that appeals to you guys, or if you would even watch. I do feel like most of the time people are attracted to videos because there's new stuff in them. So that is the eternal push-pull, the struggle that that is my job. But anyway, I went from not buying any eyeshadow palettes to now this second half of the year buying every eyeshadow palette, and they're all really great. And that is why I don't want to buy anymore. It's not that I'm like tired of eyeshadow palettes, it's that I don't need any more right now. I mean, everything from the Urban Decay Stoned palette to like all my Aether palettes. I pulled out PYT palettes today. I have so much good stuff that honestly deserves to be revisited. I think that I'm probably not going to be buying any eyeshadow palettes, but I don't have to buy this because I checked with them and they're sending it to me. A lot of you guys are like, but Kackie, the new M Cosmetics Faded Clementine Divine Skies eyeshadow palette, they're sending it to me. Don't you worry. I love that release. I am so excited about it. I fully anticipate it's not going to look that great on me, and that is because I believe that it, very much like the Aperol Spritz colorway and the Viseart palettes, is going to look so unbelievably gorgeous on medium to deep skin tones, and I genuinely think that that's who it's primarily for. That said, we're still going to try and make it work because it's an absolutely gorgeous formula, and the color story of Faded Clementine is so beautiful. And I've got the blush, and it's also, there's a lip, what's it called? Lip cushion? Is that what it's called? Lip cushion? I always forget the name of it, but the little click up lip gloss thing, I love that formula so much, and I'm excited to see, you know, how all of it goes on my face. So I won't be buying that. So technically I can still say I'm not buying any eyeshadow palettes, but we will be reviewing it. Oh, and also the new Raw Beauty Christie one. I think that comes like today. So I'm really not buying any more eyeshadow palettes because I'm already backlogged on eyeshadow palettes. Oh my God, I'm like more ridiculous than I ever think I'm going to be. So first of all, I want to say, if you guys are ever browsing Trendmood thinking, these are all the new releases, this is an unbiased news source of new releases. No, she requires, I believe last time I heard, at least $1,000 per post to announce a new beauty release or to reiterate a new beauty release. And so these are the people who are paying her to do so. And if I may, literally all of her announcements are ColourPop. ColourPop, like, chill out, ColourPop. Real quick, I've never owned a Kylie thing, ever, but Kylie by the Grinch, I'm mad that this exists. Take 15 steps back, bird's eye view. Why? What are we doing? What are we doing? How many sharks have we jumped at this point? Is this what we're selling to the youths? Kylie, no. The answer is no. I feel like someone dared her to do this and they were like, you're so rich, you're so influential. I bet you could do a collaboration with the freaking Grinch, dress up in a green furry outfit and sell it like hotcakes to the youths. And she went, I'm game, I'll bite, I could do that. Look at this color story. Wow, they really went in. This is just, I mean, come on. Anyway, yeah, no one asked for this. This was a dare that she took. This is 2020 in a nutshell of just like how much can a rich person get away with. That's enough, Kylie Jenner. We did not need a Kylie Jenner Grinch collab. Okay? Okay, and I also asked you guys in my Instagram stories for your thoughts on what products I might consider for my anti-haul. So a lot of people are talking about Hourglass. Like almost everybody is asking me about Hourglass, and I actually had to look up the Hourglass Illume Sheer Color Trio because Hourglass doesn't show up on my feed very often. For whatever reason, the algorithm just doesn't show them to me that often, and so this was something that was just, it flew right by me. But they did re-release their Illume Trio, and it's just so toned down. Like, at this point, I'm like not even on like a, we need to make a list of brands to boycott train. I'm completely burnt out on my faith in brands to do the right thing. And I know that there are brands out there that are gonna do the right thing, and there are brands that are doing the right thing, but I would say that like the majority of them have just completely burnt me out on like wasting my hope on them. It's like pouring my hope into a vortex. I should give some context here. I didn't give any context to the Glossier thing. And somebody was like, can somebody tell me what's going on in my video on Monday? So they re-released their Illume Trio, and like the bronzer, it would work on me and maybe somebody with a medium skin tone, and that's about it. And they have just had people shouting from the rooftops at them, hey, we really like your formulas. They're super beautiful. Wouldn't it be nice if everybody could appreciate them? Nah, could you make some stuff for deep skin tones? And they're all like, yeah, totally hear you. Re-releasing our old stuff. What? Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in here and say that I tend to get carried away when I get kind of on these little rants and tirades and stuff. And the thing I just heard myself say was that they said that they hear you. To my knowledge, they have not acknowledged any of the negative comments. They leave them, they don't delete them, at least the ones that I've seen, like when I go through their social media. From what I can tell, it's just a simple matter of them being like, wow, 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 wow. And my thoughts were kind of disorganized because I literally had just opened my phone up, and so I'm not sure I made my point as clearly as I wanted to in the video, and that is to say that it's unacceptable and that I'm not going to be buying anything from Hourglass until they can show some shade ranges. We know what they need to do, they're just not doing it. So the products that I still have in my collection, obviously I'm going to keep using them, but you know, if only for the purpose of, you know, pointing out in videos that they need to do better. So back to my aimless ramblings. What are you gonna do? We're gonna get angry about it, okay? We're gonna get frustrated about it. I'm certainly not going to be buying their Illume Trio and being like, hey, I need to buy this on my channel. Like, no. Honestly, again, marketer hat, marketing standpoint, do you know how many people want to buy from your brand? And not only have they not bought from you in the past because you don't have a shade for them, but now they're not going to buy from you in the future, even if you do come out with a shade for them, getting very heated, because you have intentionally and actively alienated them. We gave you a chance and you were like, nah, we're good. Rosie Huntington Whiteley for the win, you know? That's where I'm at, but those are all the things that I will not be buying this Black Friday, and I just want to offer a couple of things to do instead of shopping Black Friday sales. Are you ready? Unsubscribe from email lists. It is the most cathartic and cleansing feeling ever. You're going through your inbox and everybody's like, extra 50% off plus 20% off for card members, 60%. Unsubscribe. Oh. It's such a good feeling. Just unsubscribe. On your phone, a lot of times, the iPhone makes it so there's just a button at the top. Just unsubscribe. It's so great. Reorganize and declutter all your stuff. It has made me realize how much amazing stuff I have that I completely forgot about and that I want to continue using. It makes a huge difference, and it fills time, and it feels cleansing. It's wonderful. Go outside. Yeah, if the weather's nice, go outside. That's a really great way to not shop online. And it also is just a really good way to reconnect with yourself and find purpose. I'm talking directly to myself right now. Find purpose and self-worth outside of producing and consuming, because you might have an unhealthy relationship with producing and consuming as a means of defining your self-worth. To Kackie, love Kackie. Moving on. Eat leftovers, watch football, and nap. You have my permission, America, because I don't think that other countries have that tradition on Black Friday. I don't even think Black Friday is a thing in other countries. Probably is, but regardless, yeah, you have my permission to veg. You didn't need my permission, but do it. Make a sandwich with everything on it and enjoy yourself. Enjoy the people that you can safely be around. Enjoy your pod of family or whomever. Zoom the family and friends that you can't see, and have a lovely no purchasing type day if that's what you want to do. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this as a nice cleansing breath from everything else on my channel. I know I come off like a hypocrite because I have a consuming problem too, but I think that, you know, these things are just as healthy as an exercise for me as they are for, you know, just the sake of entertainment. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. I hope you had a lovely few days off, holiday with whoever you were able to be with. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.